one time Heather and I were reading, and we were really, really enveloped in our books lying in bed. And I was on my side of the bed reading, and I was reading and really, really into The God Code by Braden. And I was reading about the importance and prevalence of nitrogen in the universe and how it points to the evidence of God. And I was just totally just gone and lost in it. And she was on the other side of the bed reading Marley and Me by John Grogan about the importance of doggy biscuits and poop, I guess. So she's reading and we're both lost in the book, right? And then at the exact same time, we both get up. And when we get up, I walk over to her side of the bed as I was just absent-mindedly and just laid my book down open like this on her side. When she got up, she just kind of put hers down on my side. We went and brushed our teeth, came back in, we both just picked up the book that was sitting in front of us and started reading. And we thought we were losing our minds. And this went on for several minutes. So I start reading. That spring we decided to try our hand at animal husbandry. We own 2 acres in the country now. It only seemed right to share it with farm animals. Besides, I was editor of Organic Gardening magazine. I'm like, Greg Braden was editor of Organic Gardening magazine? It had been celebrated by incorporating animals and their manure into a healthy, well-balanced garden. A cow would be fun, Jenny suggested. Who the heck is Jenny? I have no idea. A cow, I asked? Are you crazy? We don't even have a barn. In the end, we settled on poultry. And they would roam and they would studiously scour the property, eating bugs and grubs, devouring ticks, scratching around efficient little rototillers, and fertilizing with their high nitrogen droppings. Okay, now we're back into nitrogen. Now, I get it. So I'm thinking, this is it. So each evening... So I'm thinking, okay, now we're going to get back into the whole thing. So each evening, the chickens come to their coop. What wasn't to like? It was a chicken was a organic gardener's best friend. Chickens make perfect sense. You see, we think it's all about chasing the chickens. And so Heather's in bed. Heather's over there reading the God Code. I'm reading Marley and Me, and she looks at me after like a minute or so. She looks at me and she goes, "Who put these words in my book?" I said, "I've been thinking the same thing." And what I'm saying to each and every one of us right now is that that's a question we should be asking ourselves every single day. Who put the words in my book? Every day is a page in the book of our lives. We're taking in the information, we're reading the information. Where did it come from? Did it come from God, or did it come from the ego? Because what I'm saying is that 90+% of the information that comes our way each and every day stems from, is birthed in the misunderstanding. And if we're not on top of our game, we don't even question it. I am a mortal, carbon-based, limited, less than, separate, sinful being. My God, that means I really should be more like the models and the actresses and actors on the front page of the magazine at the checkout counter. My God, look how flawed I am. But guess what? The models and the actors and actresses on the front page of the magazines at the checkout counter have been airbrushed. They don't even look that good. It's inconceivable. Why are they airbrushed? To perpetuate the misunderstanding. It's unreachable, it's unattainable, and it doesn't exist. It's not real. They've taken the flaws, they've taken all the cellulite and every little... She was stationed in Italy for, I think, around 5 years of her experience. And while she was there, she fell in love with an Italian lover. And I mean, this guy had it all going on. He was charming, handsome, and he was a good singer to boot, which just put it over the top. Well, one time, at the end of her time there, after 5 years, her friends were having a going-away party for her on a Friday at 6:30. Ettore, her boyfriend, had been in Germany all week. And she didn't know if he was going to be able to make it in time for her going-away party. And it was 6 o'clock on Friday, 30 minutes before the party. She still didn't know. She's driving down the road, all of a sudden her cell phone rings, and it's Ettore. And he says, "Jenny, I'm so sorry, my love. I was stuck in Germany and I couldn't get the flight. I'm going to miss your party, my love." She's like, "Oh, it's okay. I mean, how can you say, what could you say? You know, It's okay. Just your heart melts just with the accent, you know. Not my version of it, but you know. What is he doing? So she's like, it's okay, sweetheart, I know you did the best you could and all that stuff. And then she's driving and she comes in, she enters a roundabout. Do you know what a roundabout is? In Europe, they don't use stop signs or street lights generally. You go into, and I mean, when you enter a roundabout, you gotta be on your game, man. You gotta bring your stuff. You gotta be conscious of what the heck, because you get into one of those roundabouts, and if you don't know where you're gonna get off, you just go around and around, and all the locals just keep circling you going, what is up, American? What's wrong with you? And you can even get dizzy because it's much ado about nothing. So she goes into the roundabout, and she's having this conversation with Ettore. I get to make it to my love. And all of a sudden, somebody pulls in front of her into the roundabout, and that person's on their phone, and it's Ettore. And she's like, she's furious, breathing fire. But she doesn't tell him. She goes, I gotta go. Hangs up. Now she's on his tail, man. She's cursing him. I'm gonna follow this guy. What's he up to? Ah, full pursuit. Sorry for spitting up here. So she's chasing him through Italy, like Rome or something. The streets are insane. So he finally pulls up to his brother's house. Now it's 6:15, 15 minutes before the party, and the party's the other side of Europe. And he pulls up to his brother's house, and she pulls up right behind him. Gets out of the car, he gets out of his car, he sees her and he goes, ciao, amore. She looks at him and she goes, ciao, amore. And she said, what, are you crazy? I'm just talking to you on the phone and you're right here, we're going around the thing and what? And he goes, but Jenny, I can explain. No, you can't. Nothing you can say can explain this away. Nothing. But can you give me a second? You got 30 seconds and I'm out of your life. Jenny, I was stuck in Germany and I swear I caught the last flight and I just wanted to surprise you. Bull! Curse, curse, curse. Swear, swear. Beat, beat. Bull! Then what are you doing here at your brother's house? The party's in 10 minutes across town. This doesn't make any sense. But I can't explain. You got 30 seconds, I'm out of your life. He says, okay, but Jenny, I called my brother from Germany, and I asked him, I tell him to get to the flowers for my love, Jenny. And Ettore turns to the house, the second story, and he yells in Italian, Pietro! Well, that would be the same in English or Italian, but he yelled in Italian, he goes, Pietro, flowers, quick! Pietro comes to the window with 24 roses, leans out and throws them through the air. Ettore, being the Italian lover he is, catches them, turns to Jenny and goes, ciao, amore. How do you think she felt? About that big. And what I'm saying right now, here's what I'm saying. That God, the Holy Presence, the Divine Mind, is working for love in ways that we can't see, ways that we can't hear, or even comprehend, or understand always, because we're blind, we don't see it. But the Holy Presence is working behind the scenes. And we're like, is that him? Is he coming? And I'll never forget this. It was also picturesque. Now it was like 5 in the afternoon or something. Sun was in a different spot, and it was windy now, so the ocean had these little waves on it, and they were diamonds, sparkling. And there's the old man, and he's silhouetted in black. You know, just the light. It was very picturesque. And he's coming in, but he gets forward, and the water becomes shallow so slowly, like that's why it goes out so far, that his motor hit the sand, and he's still way out in the water. You know, he has to lift his motor up. And now he's trying to row. Again, now the wind's kicking in. We're watching him row, and he can't. He's going 1 foot forward, 2 feet back. He's getting pushed out to sea by the winds. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, this man is crazy. He's insane. He gets in a boat. He sits there for over an hour, just waiting. Then he goes out to the, he's 90, he's been in the ocean for 5 hours. Now he can't row himself back. He's nuts, he's crazy, he's insane. Oh yeah, I remember now. Those who dance seem quite insane to those who can't hear the music. He's not crazy. He's dancing. Life might be taking chances, but they're worth taking. I believe with all of my heart the reason why this 90-year-old man can get out there and row his boat and fish is because he does. It's because he's taking chances. On Whidbey Island I saw a sign that says, does your life have enough risk in it to make it worth living? He's dancing. He's hearing the music intoned at the distance by the invisible player more than I am. There's an old saying that says this, we don't stop dancing because we get old. We get old because we stop dancing. This man is on the dance floor, and that's why he's so alive. And so Kirk and I ran out. We ran out toward him, and he said, are you going to pull me in? He said, yeah, we're going to pull you in. And so we pulled him in all the way in, and we moored his little boat, and I helped him climb out and get his bucket of fish. And he looked at Kirk and I, and he said, ah, thank God for people. We've been given the status of people. That's a high compliment. And he was so thankful. And then he had his bucket of fish and his fishing pole. And I just watched him walk back up the beach. And I looked up at his little shack. It's just too perfect, this whole thing. There he's coming, and he looks up, and there's his wife sitting on a chair on the porch. And she's waving. And I swear to God, for a moment, that was Heather, and I was the old man. And I was giddy about my future. You know the old saying, work like you don't need the money, love like your heart's never been broken, sing like nobody's listening, and dance like no one's watching. Jake is still my best friend. We still give each other a shout. We never told a soul about the day we made out.